I'm going to have a wee rant, if you don't mind. We're going to call this Ritchie's rant. I am so annoyed here. I'm very proud to be a building surveyor. I've also spent an absolute fortune on getting qualified in all the things that we're now experts in, especially the damp and mould side of things. I've just left the property, social housing, and the social housing surveyor, and this is not a one-off incident, so please don't be saying it's just we're not all like that. This has happened more and more regularly now, where social housing building surveyors are coming out and they're basically diagnosing mould growth, dampness as condensation. Now, it is actually condensation, and they're correct in what they're surmising. It is condensation, but what they're not doing is they're not actually surveying. They're just going, you've got condensation, love, don't dry your clothes on the radiators, open windows, turn your heating on a bit more. But they're not doing any surveying work. They're not actually checking to see if the relative humidity is very high. They're not checking insulation in the roof. They're not even checking for any cold bridging. There's no thermal imaging survey, but yet they're putting all the blame back on the tenant. And I'm sure this is happening not just in my patch, but across the board. This is so lazy surveying. If you're going to go out and actually tell someone they've got condensation, that's fine. But condensation is a result of something. Yeah, it can be clothes drying on radiators, it can be lack of heat, it can be insulation faultily installed or not installed at all in some cases. But you have to actually tell the people this is the reason why you're getting condensation by carrying out a survey. Use protometers, use hygrometers, use thermal imagery. It's so lazy and so easy just to actually say to a social housing tenant, condensation, stop drying your clothes on the radiator. And that's fine, as long as they've investigated the problem first of all and found that they've been drying clothes on radiators. But that leads me on to another point. These people are human beings. They have to wash and dry clothes. In quite a few flats, social housing flats that I go into, there's space for one washing machine. Okay, there is no space for a tumble dryer. And if there is space for a tumble dryer, there's no way to vent it to the outside. And they don't have an outside drying area because they're on a third, fourth, fifth floor flat. Now, I know in quite a lot of cases there is actually drying areas available, but there has, and I've been to them, where there is no drying area whatsoever, or the drying area is not secure, so the minute they hang clothes out in the lines, they get stole. Just because they live in social housing doesn't mean to say they don't have needs like everybody else. Give them a break. Give them something where they can actually dry clothes in a safe, secure environment, so we don't have this condensation problem that then we're telling them that's their fault. It's not their fault if we're not giving them the opportunity to dry their clothes just like any person would. They only live in social housing. It's not a crime. So please, surveyors, get with it. Actually start doing what we're paid for. And by the way, just as an add-on, just because it's a free survey that you're carrying out does not mean you do not have a duty of care. You do have a duty of care, even if it's a free survey. So please start upping your games and get with the program and start doing what you're paid to do, and start actually carrying out a full and competent survey as befits an average building surveyor, which is what you're expected to do. Ritchie Brown, RBBA, building the future, renovating the past.